Okay, so today we're going to be playing the new expansion for the first time, which I don't even know what it is, too. I've seen a few of these, like, draft. I never really pay attention, and I almost deliberately keep myself in the dark because I don't really care, right? I'm just using kind of old school gimmick, whatever I feel like doing anyway. But I think it was something like Modern Horizons is what I kept seeing being referred to, but I don't know if that's actually the name of the expansion. Bloomburrow. That is weird how it doesn't... I don't think I've seen that referenced. The Bloomburrow is actually the name of the expansion, but yeah, I haven't seen any, and we've already seen this. I don't know why it keeps showing us that every single time. Renewal gifts. Like the rotation is changing, which almost doesn't matter for me because I only play like timeless or historic anyway. So yeah, we wrap up. We're gonna do it the 10K draft today, and I'm gonna do it with black and red. So I wrap up me playing my two least favorite colors in the game, which is obviously red, white, and blue. And so now we're gonna move to black and red, which are kind of more in the middle. That I do like them a little bit. Red can be kind of fun with the whatever dragons and Sarkhan and stuff. And then black, I like aesthetically at least, maybe sometimes mechanically in some ways. But obviously green is my favorite. So I started off playing this game like at the end of 2022, and I played almost exclusively green for a very long time. And then I'm able to, it doesn't normally say spend orbs. It normally says legal and historic. Oh, did they change how this works too? 49 days. Wait, what? Where's like the proper mastery tree orb thing? They fucked it up. You're supposed to be able to put the orbs and do that tree to get to like some card back or something. I'm so confused. 2 orbs to get this is kind of dumb, or maybe it's a better way of doing it so you don't have to worry about working your way up the tree. But is there anything I really want, like a cosmetic? All this stuff is dumb, and 49 days is not the length of the expansion, so what the fuck is this? Normally it lasts the whole expansion the way they do that. But no, the point is we played white and black, anything but basic. Iconic symbols, tabletop, premium tabletop accessories. I like how when I first played Magic, I didn't even know what this thing meant. The 1 2 3 4 5, you know, like thing symbol is to show the obviously the 5 colors, but I didn't know that's what it was about at all. But no, the point is that we played white and fucking, I always want to say green because that's always my favorite. From the end of 22 to like whatever, sometime last year, I had played exclusively green basically because it's obviously my favorite color, and the whole overall context of this series is like, oh, I want to collect every green card in the game, even though that's not really going to even though I've, you know, gotten distracted in crafting all kind of other things, but that's still fine. That's part of the overall journey. But here, this is even kind of foreshadowing what we're doing this expansion, right? Black and red. So yeah, we're gonna move from, I moved from green as some sort of even pseudo punishment. They're like, oh, I played green too much, or I failed some little mini challenge I was doing. And so then I said, okay, now I have to play white and blue, which blue I liked because of hexproof and some of the stuff that counter spells more so than actually using spells themselves. And then, you know, I'm not always the biggest fan of removal and those kind of annoying things. I more so want to play on the board. So even with blue, I find a way to do it, even though it goes against what blue is all about, which is all about removal and spamming spells and whatever. So now it's more, again, just play hexproof minions and shit like that to try to stop your opponent from doing that, which again, it wasn't very good, but at least I enjoyed the mechanic. And then as white, I was just trying to do something with flying a little bit, which didn't work out super well. And I'm surprised, given how many cards this game actually has, there wasn't really anything. I mean, I looked through like every card in the game. There wasn't anything that did quite what I was expecting to, which was, I don't know, like some sort of buff OTK thing, like an invisible stalker. I'm sure there's some way to do it, but it would be like very limited in scope. You'd have to do it a very specific way, whereas I just thought you could buff it up a little bit here and there, and it's very hard to find those kind of things. Again, not just based on what I have, even though my collection is actually a decent size now. It's more so just like, oh yeah, this stupid thing is still there, which you have to spend like 2,800 to fucking enable yourself to do. Where does it even say that? Wait, that thing's not even there anymore. 50 days, 1 hour to spend. But no, what you need to realize is that, again, I don't like white. So I guess what we learned from that is white I like even less than blue. I don't like healing. I don't really like flying. I don't like a lot of those things, even though I was forced to use them. And so what you have is the ability to, that's one thing I've never done, like how I hadn't played chess over the board in like 10 years until I did it kind of on a webcam, which still isn't, you know, whatever. Doesn't entirely count. So I haven't played Magic the Gathering over the board in person ever, right? And even like Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't done in a long time, or I guess Hearthstone I wouldn't have done, but the one thing I would almost want to try to revive in some way, if I was a bigger streamer or something, would be Warcraft TCG, because I've never really played it. I maybe had some of the cards, but I didn't really do anything with it. And so that would be kind of fun just to see. I'm sure it is pretty good too, despite the fact that it died out or whatever. And the sad part is it might have been just as good, if not better, than Hearthstone, but it maybe just failed because of the physical logistics and dynamic of that, right? Whereas the digital space is so much more convenient. That's why Hearthstone would succeed, not because it's actually better. Yeah, we're going to go ahead, do the 10K draft. And again, my record in drafts hasn't been the best. The one that I try to do is the one where it's like best of 3, or like you play 3 games regardless of record. So I maybe will go, I'll win 1 game out of the 3, or I'll win 2 games, which is not bad. That's still like a 66% ratio or whatever, right? If you win 2 out of 3 consistently, because the sample size is so small. However, is it the traditional, or is it the it must be this one, right? With the 3. 10K, yeah, you play 3 regardless of record. And so the whole thing is I go into these really blind. I didn't even know what the expansion was, and I didn't know. I don't like look anything up or have any guides along the way, but still, that's no excuse that you should do bad. And again, some of my principles for drafting sometimes seem good. Like, you're not trying to build around a synergy, you're just trying to get for base value. This is what you would often do in Hearthstone. Like, I'm just getting good statted minions, and I'm just getting basic mid-range stuff, and I'm not really trying to build a synergy or win condition. But sometimes you see where people actually are doing that. So I don't know how much you can guarantee that you're going to get something that's actually really good. Damn, this guy's always online. He must be a hardcore player. No, I wonder what the hardcore community even thinks about this game, because it doesn't seem they might like that other one better, right? Magic Online. But yeah, what I'm gonna do is obviously commit to black and red. I'm not sure which one should be the primary. Maybe they should be like equal. Even doing a hybrid thing, I would be apprehensive. Like, why do a hybrid deck in a 10K in a draft? Because you don't want to split it. You just want to have one color only, and you'll do just fine, because then at least you can guarantee that you're gonna always have the right land, and you don't have to worry about mixing it up. But people are very inventive, so I'm sure people do try hard. But yeah, typically I haven't done too great in drafts, so let me try to correct that. And again, it's not that I'm not trying to draft for value, but I wouldn't necessarily know exactly what is going to be the best thing, or, you know, I haven't even probably seen any of these cards before. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to do, especially on the timer. I guess, like, at least in Hearthstone, you only have 3 cards to choose between, and there is no timer to show how casual that game is, maybe compared to this. But, you know, you're on the clock with respect to doing it in sort of a live sense. Yeah, what we have, oh no, you know what I said I would do? I got to change my cosmetics to sort of signify, not that those cosmetics really had anything to do with, these ones I guess are just there anyway. Phrases 5 of 15. I don't get this though. Like, am I, like, are these replacing those, or I forget how that works. I don't really use those very much anyway. But select active emotes. Okay, that's fine. Companions. Yeah, let me do the black dragon to sort of show. In fact, that perfectly represents it, because it's both black and obviously still red. The fact that it would be breathing flame, right? Like, I was just using that when I had used Sarkhan originally. I mean, I just got it because it looked cool too. But yeah, I haven't played red or black too much. In fact, black, at the beginning, I was almost saying I'll save that for drafts, and I'll save green. I'll do green and constructed, and the other ones I just sort of omitted. The thing that disappointed me about red a little bit was the simple fact that you have, where would be something, there's nothing that actually represents red super well. I said this is like the Meghan Markle chick, right? Fucking social climber, where she has the ring and she's showing it off so much. It's almost the same perspective. You're trying to tell me I don't have a single card bait that actually represents red. Are you fucking serious? I guess this sort of represents black, and their eyes are red, so that could work. The Tim Burton card back. Man, I almost want to get one. I have 3,000 gold, so I get... Wait, what did I just do? Didn't I do the... Oh, no. Wait. I'm so confused. I guess you can buy into it, and then you can do the draft whenever you want. Like, what if I cancel out and I cuck my chance to actually do it? So I paid the 10k gold. It's gone. But, oh, no, because I want to change my cute little cosmetic. Now I have to go through this. But no, we want to change the whole vibe. We've been using that stupid Dwayne the Rock Johnson thing. Let's see if there's one we can actually get with what little resource we have left for just like a card back. Just something that's like red, like a volcano. I mean, even this kind of looks cool. The muscle. I guess it sort of represents fire. Where'd he go? Here. I guess we'll do that. I always tend to try to save the gems rather than waste those on something. So I guess I'll use that. I'm not entirely happy with it. I wanted one that's more like just an environment thing, like something like this, but that's more like a volcano. I'm sure there was like one for Mount Doom with Lord of the Rings or some shit. So that's fine. We'll use that, and then I'll use obviously the Black Dragon. I'm not entirely happy with that actually, but even this one kind of looks like it, but either this one could work or the Tim Burton one, but that's kind of too much black. This at least could be considered black and red, although it might just be considered red to some people. And then Avatar almost kind of works, but is there something that has... Sarkhan is obviously the go-to, and in fact that was my whole point of doing it, is that you have whatever, I tried to do like the Exodia Sarkhan, which is not a real thing, but whatever, just like where I have all of the Sarkhans and I try to get them all out together. So let me see what is going on with this. Do I still get to do it? Okay, you can start whenever you want, and it is with other players, so it's not like sometimes it's a bot draft, but either way I think you have to wait. You still are on the clock, and I almost feel bad for taking too long, but of course I don't know any of these cards. Like, nobody probably does it like this. This is such a try-hard game that, oh, everybody's looked everything up, so there's a bit of a fallacy with that, too. People will act like, oh, haha, they're so good, or look how bad you are, which sometimes can be true, fine. But sometimes it's like, oh, they have so much borrowed knowledge. They play the game all day, every day, or they take it seriously, and it's their whole life, and they define their whole value from that, and they metagame and use add-ons and look everything up, and are looking up builds and videos and all this kind of stuff. So if you do it that way... Right, if those same people were to do it truly blind, like you go in, you don't even know what the fucking cards are, how good would you really do in a draft then? You might still do better than me, right? That's fine, but there is some truth to that where people act like, oh, haha, we're so good, but I'm going in 100% blind. Like, I don't even know what the fuck is in here. But I should still do better than what I've typically done in these, and of course this kind of best of 3 mode is pretty suited for someone who doesn't play the game very much. Like when you're only playing once a week or when you're only playing for a short period of time, it works out pretty well because, again, regardless of how well or badly you do, you only play 3 games total, which is a pretty good casual sort of format. And what you also have is the reason why I don't like doing the longer ones now too is because I had done them sometimes at the beginning of this playthrough, but then I would like, okay, I play a couple games and I have some left to play, right? And like a play till you lose 3 and I win like 3 and lose 2, and so like I'll finish it next time. But then when I did that, it resets. So sometimes it might do that. So now it'll reset and it'll end the draft because it changes what the draft is going to be. And so let's see what we got. Destroy target creature. Okay, that should be fine. For 3, that's what black is all about. It's just very sort of cheap removal at times, but this is kind of not that cheap, actually. Destroy target creature if the gift wasn't promised, so you may promise an opponent a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, create a food token. Yeah, we're going to do only black and red. Gift a card, deals 2 damage to each creature. Sometimes the choice is basically made for you. Deal 1 damage to target opponent. But no, you gotta avoid stuff that feels like, oh, it's synergies, because how the fuck do you know? Even if you're the best player in the game, right, you wouldn't know that you're gonna get cards that have to do with that. So, but this is the whole keyword mechanic, gifting stuff. Why doesn't the game just give me some free packs and free cards then? Because I'm a free-to-play fucking player. Or allow me to disenchant stuff, which I'm kind of glad in a way that you can't do here. And I kind of modeled my format, not because of this game, but I sort of did that as a format in PvZ Heroes anyway, where that's my format. I'm not allowed to craft, in addition to being free to play. Forager playing black. That's so good. Wow, that's so good. Forage or pay black. So it's, look at this. Look at the value of the black removal. It's a 2 mana, just destroy creature. Like, that's cheap, very cheap compared to most other colors. So it seems like we're leaning towards black more here already. Exile target creature just because I'm a big fan of the removal, but let me try to get some stuff out on the board too. Target creature you control gains haste. It's free, like it doesn't cost mana. Target creature gains trample. That's pretty good, I guess. It's going to be all about like little cutesy woodland creatures and stuff, which would have more to do with green than anything else, or I should always check the dinosaurs that they add in. But we're going to be more focused on dragons now. Deal 1 damage whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap it. I don't see why. This could be. See, this in itself could be a win condition, because if you spam a bunch of spells, you can just keep spamming that ability, which I don't know how good that's really going to be. Choose one, deal 4 damage to target creature. If the creature would die, exile it, exile target artifact. Some of these are kind of expensive, though. That's also another thing. Like, that's my whole mentality with drafts. Is like, try to get low cost stuff, try to get only one color, which I'm not doing here, obviously. Whenever you expend 4, what does that mean, expend? Your 4 total mana. Target creature gets +1/+1 and trample this turn. I mean, this is only fitting because it's black and red anyway. Enters with a +1/+1. I mean, you would assume these are always better too, because you have to go out of your way to do the hybrid to get them. But no, it's like, try to get low cost stuff, try to get only one color, try to get stuff with raw inherent value. Like, you'd rather get a 3 mana 3/3 than a 3 mana 2/2 with some effect that might require some other synergy or help to it, right? So why would you do that? Flying when it enters the battlefield, it's so expensive, bro. Like, I'll do it, but it's just not efficient. But again, even that's still not reliant on some other effect. It's just too expensive. I mean, like, something that, if it requires some other synergy, like, oh, every time you summon a beast, it'll do it. But how do you know you're gonna get only beasts or something? Even if that's the theme of the expansion, still. But no, the good thing with this is you actually get to keep the cards too. So this will help build up my collection for red and black in a way that maybe I haven't done, because I crafted a certain amount of dragons. I don't think I've crafted very many black cards actually over the course of this playthrough, because I just haven't played it, like I said, and constructed almost at all. I think what I'll do is I'll start off by playing a black and red combination deck. They combine some of my favorite mechanics with them, or gimmicks or whatever, and then I'll split them up later and do their own, like how I did with the white and blue. I did white and blue combined, and then I did them individually and tried to see which would do better. Attacks, okay, 1, 3. And you are gonna get some. You're gonna be forced to take some that aren't, like, 1 less to cast for each lizard. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But you shouldn't take, like, multiple copies of the same thing. But you'll have to, like, do your little... And I won't even take neutral cards that don't have a color either. You're gonna have to fuck around with the sideboard. And so you'll have a few things that maybe don't fit in the color, because how the choices shrink down like that. Like, drafting in this is way more complicated than, you know, what I would be used to, I guess, mainly just from Hearthstone, where you just pick from 3 cards, which I guess this is on that level. But, you know, some of these picks are already made for me, though, because, again, I'm staying hard into the 2 colors. I guess that what I could have done is, yeah, that just goes straight in the fucking sideboard, dump that shit out. We don't want to see blue anymore ever again. What you have is the ability to say that... I don't know, like, what you're trying to do is, there's like an incentive that, oh, let me pick the best card because I just want to add it to my collection, not the best card necessarily for my deck at this time. The beginning of your main step, if an opponent lost life this turn, exile top 2 cards in your library. Whenever it becomes a target of a spell or ability you control first time each turn, you discard a card. Well, I don't want that. Enters the battlefield, exile top card of your library. Until the next turn, you may play that card. I'm kind of doing this just for the curve and the statting, maybe. But I'm not too happy with some of these minions. Like, I just need better statted stuff. 5 mana, 5/5. That in itself is amazing. Like, wow, what a great, you know... Forget about the effects. Like, I just want stuff that's like that. 3 mana, 2/2. When it enters, choose target opponent. If they lost life this turn, reveal their hand. That's actually quite a strong effect. But I'll get this just because I'm sort of bummed out about the... not having, like, better statted stuff. But that 2 cost thing seemed really good, or 3 cost. You know, I'm gonna end up having too much of this because I don't have a choice. Like, you're forced to just take it. That's sort of a format I would do in Hearthstone drafts, or a lot of people would do. Like, when a new expansion comes out, you have to pick the new card if it's offered to you in the draft. But no, you have infinite time in Hearthstone to do the pick, and you also have to you only have 3 cards to choose between every time, so it's way more casual than anything in this game. It would be fun to see, like, how this would work in real life. Probably very similarly, but I would have no fucking idea. This is one of those, you know, kind of try-hard, insular games that I could care less, right? Like, if I'm just playing it how I want to play it, people always take it like it's exclusive, like, oh, haha, look at this person playing it wrong, assuming you're trying to do exactly the same thing as them, or I don't know, it's not a zero-sum thing, right? Like, it's not always about the outcome. You want to use certain things, and then you still do want to play the best with it or win with it, but you know, you might have a certain context, like, okay, I'm doing a certain format, I'm doing a certain challenge. 5 mana, gift a card, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield if it's a gift of promise creature, legendary. It's a little too complicated. Costs 1 less for each creature you own in exile and in your graveyard. That could be very good. I'm kind of going too heavy with the curve, though, here. And in fact, this thing doesn't even make sense because it stops like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Or 7. It doesn't show anything above that, so it would just be like all put together in the last bar or what? I don't know how they would represent that. This one is not actually going to be usable, or I guess for the neutral purpose, you could argue that you should be allowed to do that, but I just don't want to this time. Yeah, a lot of these are sort of made for me. But no, I'm happy to be done with those 2 colors, which I, of course, hate so much. Blue kind of grew on me, I guess, though, over time. Just with the simple idea that, again, there's certain mechanics there that I just really like. You know, this is like a winding road of a series because, oh, my original goal is just I love green and I want to collect every green card in the game, but you can't even do that. Oh yeah, here's this one that I was excited about. Discards 2 cards. Like, that's so good in itself. Whatever. This has like so many effects to it. Don't give a shit about that. Okay, let's see. This is whenever one or more creatures you control die. You won't even have enough time to read all this shit, especially if you were considering everything. Spend mana only to cast a creature spell. Sacrifice it, return a battle. See, this seems so unnecessarily complicated. Why not just use regular fucking lands? Beginning of your end step, flying 3 mana 2/2. Because see, what's going to happen is on a regular game in game out basis in a draft mode, it's going to come down to stuff like that. It's not going to come down to, oh, you'll use this crazy effect later, or you wouldn't think it does, but sometimes it does and it pisses me off. Sometimes it just comes down to like, oh, you know, straight up, if opponent lost life this turn, I don't know how often that's really going to happen. When this creature dies, deals 1 damage, offspring 2. Target creature gets XX until end of turn with X. That could be okay, I guess. But yeah, you got to think all these effects aren't going to come into play. So on an average basis, it's just, oh, you'll win because you played a 2 mana 2/2 and a 3 mana 3/3 and just play on curve. Not because you did something crazy or high cost or synergistic or metagame or anything. It's just basic plays, right? Just basic, static, almost boring plays, which sometimes I wouldn't like in Hearthstone Arena. That's what it would come down to. Oh, you play the Chowan Yeti, 4 mana 4/5 with no effect. Like, that's a better play than whatever other better cards you thought you had, because you have you know, there's that limited scope where you can't guarantee everything. Maybe in this way I'm restricting myself too much, but I mean, really, what are you gonna do? You're gonna make a rainbow fucking deck with all 5 colors or something? This is target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice, discard a card. It's also not a bad value itself. Patrol, when you do, target creature gets -X, -X. Look at X cards. I don't know. I like this one, just base statting. But again, some of the stuff is still too high on the curve. Exile it from your graveyard, return another creature from your graveyard to your hand. That's actually a very worthwhile effect in this kind of mode where you might be starved. You know what I kind of liked about Arena a lot, though, in Hearthstone? One of my favorite things, which you might find odd. Exile cards from their hand if it was cast from the graveyard. I'm still going to go more minion focused. I like the fact that it would get in top deck mode because it means that both players' decks are equal, even if it means equally bad and random, because you have to make the best of what you have, and then you kind of are in just full-on, you know, scavenging mode where, you know, you might think it's a bad thing, like, oh, top deck is just RNG, but it could be fun and satisfying because, like, you burn out and you use everything you possibly can. Not like with actual constructed decks where it would often be kind of boring, where you would say, you know what's going to happen and you know it's going to go on forever and you're always going to have an answer for everything. There you're not. It's going to be more dynamic and you do the best you can and you're sort of using stuff in suboptimal ways because you don't have a choice and you just feel like, you know, you got to make the best of what you have instead of always trying to save it or use it in the best way. Gets trample +1, enchant creature. Target creature controls can't block this turn. Some of the stuff I'm not going to use. I hate to sideboard a green card, but I mean, this game definitely doesn't have type advantages, like where, you know, maybe it has style of play advantages that I don't even fully understand, but, you know, whatever, like aggro will be good against control, but it's not like, oh, red is weak against black, or red is weak against, what is all this shit? You know, whatever, red is weak against blue because it has super effective Pokemon advantage effect. So we would have 9 and 8. Why don't we just make them the same? Why don't we make it 9? Well, first of all, let's just get rid of them and do one of, oh fuck, we could just build it like straight from scratch. Actually, fuck it. I typically don't do this. I think I just kind of go with almost what I normally have to begin with, but let's go ahead. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe. That maybe seems like too much. So let's do 9 and 9. So then we'll have 18 lands and 22. And so we should make the proportion very similar. Like we should have an equal number of each color of card. But I don't know if I even thought about it quite like that. In terms of, I get mana screwed so fucking often, even in my constructed decks. So what we have is black and red, and what we can do is, let me really think. Okay, if it's really something good, 1 mana, 1/1, pay 1 life, draw a card. That in itself is really good, and you can do it every turn with no cost. Activate only if you have 3 or more cards left. If 3 or more cards left your graveyard this turn, or you've sacrificed a food this turn. Okay, so that effect isn't going to probably come into play very often, so let me think about it. Whenever it attacks, defending... Okay, this is actually worth it because what you're going to do is, it's a 2 mana 1... Well, you're going to get a certain amount of value from that, but unless you buff it, I just kind of like it as a basic statting play. I just wish I had maybe 2 attack. 2 mana, 2/2. Exile from your... Oh, again, it's fine just on its base statting. Return another target creature from your hand to your... Okay, that can be good. As in that top deck sort of phase that you often get into more here. As an additional casting cost of spell, 4 is your pay of black. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. So just pay, so it's a 3 mana spell then. Like, it's not bad. Gets -2/-2. I'm sure that'll come into use, but... So again, if we have 22 cards, we should have 11 black cards and 11 red cards then. And so we already are at 5, so maybe I'm not doing this exactly right. Or we could do like a bunch of like a bunch of low cost cards with one and a bunch of high cost cards with the other. So only high cost cards with the black, only low cost cards with the red, or something like that. When duo enters, you may mill 2 cards. Shouldn't this have like the mirror image thing then, if it's called the duo? Like where it makes a copy of itself or something? I forget what that mechanic is. You may mill 2 cards. 3 mana, 3/2. I can't argue with, again, just the base value. Draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Okay, Pot of Greed over here. Destroy target creature. If the gift wasn't promised, you lose 2 life. Okay. This costs 1 less to cast for each lizard you control. Flying. I'm going to have to still be more selective than what I'm doing. 3 mana, 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain or lost life... That's fine. This one seems very good. Menace, and when it enters, choose the opponent. If they lost life this turn, reveal their hand. You choose an online card, and they discard it. Otherwise, they discard a card. Like, either way, it's good. You know, a positive or a even bigger positive. Offspring, 3. You may pay 3. If you do, create a 1/1 copy. When this creature... Okay, fine. When it enters, the target... Enters what, though? It normally says enters the battlefield. When this creature enters, target opponent uses 3 life unless they sacrifice or discard a card. And again, it's a 4 mana 4/3, so I can't really argue with the value there. When it enters, I could just make the whole thing black, though I've already gone over my quota of stuff. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain... I'm not a big fan of it, but you can sometimes win with flying alone. Like, if you just... There's a lot of things that are just duo. Which don't have the corresponding effect that maybe they should. The point is here that you might just win because of flying because they just can't deal with it. You might think that's silly, but there are so many games where that actually does happen. It's just one of those annoying mechanics. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card you own in exile and in your graveyard. That seems like a very easy effect to get, especially with how minion heavy I can be. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of some of these. And so we need, what is this? Look at twice X cards from, but I guess if I have like a hybrid card that can go with either one, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know how I would actually, because then if I have like 10 cards black, 10 cards, 8 cards red, but then I have 2 cards that are hybrid, that kind of favors black then. You know, because it counts as kind of both. I don't know if I should be so exact about it. Look at twice X cards from the top of your library, put X cards among them from your hand and the rest into your graveyard. See, this is a card that probably I can almost guarantee is not going to come into play. Right, it seems good, and it could maybe even win you the game. Look at twice of X cards, so you pay... It's going to be too expensive. Like, it's just not... It doesn't seem like a draft kind of card. Enchant creature, okay, so we have like 11... We could get rid of one thing. I tried to get rid of all the copies of stuff. We have one of those. We have one of those. That's fine. Feed the Cycle's good. Saver's good. This maybe isn't as important, but there maybe will be times of it to use it. Destroy a target creature. It feels like you should even have more of those, because that's what black is all about. Stuff to just sort of destroy as creatures on demand. So this is going to be, even as it stands, it's an 8 mana 6/6, which isn't terrible. So it's not going to be that hard to get that out there. I feel like maybe I'll get rid of that one. And so now what I'll do is he's giving you the puppy dog eyes to try to fucking, you know, get you to pick the card. But I just don't think it's going to be valuable here. Enchant creature, when it enters, target creature opponent controls can't block this turn. That could be okay. Let me give it a shot. Deal 4 damage to target creature for 3. If the creature dies... I'll consider it, but I'm not 100% sure. Deal 1 damage to your opponent. Okay, this should be like, oh, your win condition, but it's not going to be. Deal 2 damage to each creature. I do like that. If the gift was, you know, you're not going to have any other AoE besides this, so let me just do it. This one we'll just get for, again, the base statting. Don't even have to think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck it. And that's still not enough, actually. Target creature gains haste till end of turn. That one's fine. I try not to have too many copies of the same thing, but I mean, in this case, you almost might need to. So this actually favors black a little more, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to show my clear objectivity, but what do we have here? That one's okay. This one's okay. At the beginning of your second main phase, if an opponent lost life this turn, exile top 2 cards of your... But for the most part, it doesn't matter. Again, remember, because... You know, you only need one of each color usually, so it doesn't matter if it's, you know, 3+1 or 2+1, so it doesn't have as much impact as you realize, because very few cards are actually going to have more than one of a particular color required. So that always comes into play so much for, like, I would have a bunch of blue cards in my green deck, but have 0 blue land. So, oh, how would I do that? Because I would just have, like, the Carotid or other things that give you, like, 1 mana of any color. When it enters, exile top card of your library. That's fine with me. Enter the +1/+1 if they lost life this turn. They gain menace until end of turn. Again, it's just a 3 mana 3/2. Because you can pay either one, right? For the black and red, you don't have to pay both, I don't think. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. I don't have enough spells to really take advantage of this effect, though. Everything is a duo, but they missed a chance to do the mirror link shit. So we have 2 copies at least of only the hybrid one, so maybe that should be a rule. But then if I do it like this, I'm not going to have the chance to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need one more card. And do I have an equal number of cards? Actually, is the bigger question. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what? That doesn't even add up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there should be 11 of red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's because I have 2 of those. I don't mind the hybrid stuff, so I guess I'll leave it. But let me put some other red in there, but I guess I can't because I don't want to have 2 copies of anything either, so we're kind of fucked. Huh. There is, like, no mathematical way to actually do it. If my rule set is Okay, let's say I have to have equal number of each card. This in itself is a puzzle. I have to have an equal number of each. It's almost like with how slow paced I can be. I should spend one episode just doing the draft and one episode actually playing it. But I also want to play it like kind of, as soon as it comes out, even though I'm still a week late, just because I always play on Monday and the expansion actually comes out on Tuesday. But if I can only have 2 copies of that, now I have no choice but to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Even that still doesn't mathematically add up. Or like 8, 9, 10, I guess, from that. So that would be fine. So I guess I'll do one more red card. And I'll make an exception to... I could honestly just put another red land, but that makes even less sense because you don't want... There's just no way to do it. It really makes no fucking sense, but I guess as some sort of compensation, I guess I will do that. Whatever, that's fine with me. Again, we get to keep all these cards. It doesn't seem that bad. Like, again, there's some decent low-cost things, but you don't really have a strong win condition. You're just going to win on the board or whatever. There's nothing really that transformational. No, that's almost what you could do, is just get every mythic card that you're offered or something, and then, oh, I got it for 10k. Right, like forget about the draft. You're just buying basically whatever you want. So I'll keep this because I'm such a fan of not getting mana screwed here. This isn't fitting at all that we get fucking reminded of blue as I'm moving on from it. Let's go ahead. We'll do the red first just to make sure we have enough for these. But I just need some basic minions I can play, and you'd be surprised how much of an impact that has. Not that I'm any arena expert, or I call it arena. The whole game is arena, but I'm no draft expert, but just basic board presence can go a long fucking way. So now you have the ability to deal 4 damage, destroy a creature. But obviously this is a new arena too, and this guy's thing is very fitting for it actually. But I think this is one that's been around for a while. I'll do it just because I have nothing else to really do. And I'll just try to get in my base damage on the board. You might think, oh, that means I'm very removal heavy. But I always underestimate, I guess, what they have. Like, that's obviously an objectively bad play. But if I didn't do that, right, like my criteria is going to be very limited. And now I'm almost inclined to do this too. I'm already doing too much. Destroy target creature. If it wasn't promised, you lose 2 life. I could give less of a shit about that. And then I'm going to have another, like, this is how I'm going to win. Just let me do this for 10 turns. Because I don't have anything, I don't know. Like, don't you think, oh, they're out of minions. Like, they don't have a million fucking minions in their fucking deck. I don't give a shit. Bruh. Why is this, like, look, dude. It's a draft deck. You don't think maybe he would run a little drive minions he can play for a fucking couple turns? You fucker. Okay, dude. Bro is literally me with the number of minions he has in his deck. Like, the tables have turned. Okay, now we do have enough for that, but again, it's just not going to even matter. That thing already has haste. Okay, this is what we need now. His minion board is going to be dry, but he can obviously have removal of his own. Creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. I'm not really too worried about that. Again, you could just win right now in like the next 2 turns. If you didn't have a minion, again, you said I should have saved some of that removal, but then his minions would have already overwrought the board. Okay, that has vigilance anyway, so I do like the amount of land that we were able to get though. So if you were able to get haste, let me try to do that. Can't block this turn, and then you go like this, and then you could trade that in. It has trample, but it won't work because of this. So maybe I could win just... I'm gonna be so close, dude. I'm gonna be so close. Bro. And I'm gonna somehow lose now because he's gonna have an answer. But look at how hard aggressive I used the fucking removal. I was fiending with the removal this game, and it maybe wasn't worth it, but I hate that effect in this game of how you can't attack, how you can't attack minions on the board. So what it makes me do is turn into that where, okay, you should be able to get through something here, but let me think. Because you're going to have to block, I don't know, you have trample alone. If I attack with all three, I should almost win, but I can't figure it out. So you block this with this, let's say. Then you block this with this, you take one. You still could... It's the reach that's kind of fucking me over. He's going to win now. He's going to win now because I can't do the math. And this you would have to block like with this or this. Or you could even block... Yeah, you could block with either of these. So you block this, you block this, you block the... Okay, dude. Now we're in the top deck mode, but I just can't do anything. Exile from your graveyard, return target creature from your hand. So it's the fact that he has reach. He's gonna win now. I guarantee it. He's gonna somehow win the game. He's gonna heal. He's gonna get some crazy shit. Some win condition. Some epic... Like, the game is not supposed to last this long, bro. Which is not even to say I'm an aggro style, but you know you're not gonna win if it does go on this long. When it enters, until it leaves the battlefield, you would think the trample alone would be so valuable here, but it's just not going to matter. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain your life lost this turn, Surveil 1. I just can't do anything. I mean, I'm fucked. It's really the reach that saved him. Otherwise, I would have been fine. Like, are you serious that I'm going to lose because of this? That's so fucking stupid. I should have just saved my removal, but then he would have fucked me over with the... I mean, it would have been lower cost, less consequential stuff, but it would have still stuck around on the board. Until the end of your turn, you may play that card. Okay, just play it then. I don't care. I can't do anything, man. It's so dumb. This is like literally my style of play here, like how I would do it. I'm trying to, or no, it's sort of the opposite of my style of play though, because I would use so much removal that I maybe normally wouldn't have, but I would stand by it. But I'm just kind of pissed now because there's just nothing I can do. If you add it up, like look, he'll have to block with the flying, then he'll block something else like with this, then he'll block this with this. I'm just not gonna get enough damage through him. And there's not much I can think of in my deck that's really going to make the difference. Like this is what happens with the boards, right? People will sit on the board for like a year and never attack into anything. This can be the problem with Magic at times, right? Normally you'd see a lot of trading and back and forth, and you just sit here and just watch. So that might be a little problematic, but we do have reach. But no, if you buff stuff up too much or does anything here, I just love that, man. You just sit here and can't do shit. 6-5, I could still trade in. It would be perfectly fine. Bro, I can't be upset. I even said that, oh, this is what I like when I get in the top deck mode, but I just didn't think it would come down to this. I was first of all pissed by how many minions the guy had at the beginning of the game, but I could kill this with this. Okay, the buffs are gonna be... Now I lose the game because I can't do anything about that 7-6 ever, right? I can do nothing about it in my whole life. This thing you should be able to block still, right? That's fine, actually. The 7-6 I'll just tank for now. And the reason why is because now I almost might be able to kill you, but this thing has vigilance too. Nice game. Nice game, dude. That's so fucking stupid, man. The only other thing you would say is, okay, you should have saved some of the removal, but then I would have probably lost on the board anyway, which I end up losing anyway, because what would have been the difference? Like, I would have just, he would have more health and just You got plenty of shit to block with. I mean, my one hope would have been like just the ability to. So would I just get that back immediately when it dies? You get. So at least that makes that one worth blocking a little more. We can block this with this, kill this with these two. Beginning of your second main phase, opponent lost life, exile top 2 cards of your library, choose one until the end of the turn you may play it. He's only attacking with that, which would be worth it to kill it, I guess. Or maybe not, I don't know. What is this one again? If it is exile, oh yeah, that's that's very worth it though, because now if you exile it, you would be able to get something back. And I have plenty of mana to spare. In fact, I got land screwed in a different way, that I almost got too much land. Right, like look at this. It makes you seem like, oh, I have too much land in my deck, but I really don't. Draw 2 cards, okay. There's nothing I have that's gonna actually give me. Deal 1 damage to your opponent. It's just not gonna be enough. You're just one step too late with it, bro. Even that would be cool, but I can't do it yet, even like a fucking million land that I have. You play that, we'll have this next turn, we'll have the ability to do this like twice. But he just mathematically has way too much. He mathematically has way too much shit on the board. If he attacks with everything, I should just lose, right? I guess that effect is the whole point, but that's why you... Maybe that's too many rules that I said, that, oh, I have to have equal number of 2 things. I can only take the 2 colors. Although normally you'll commit to a certain number of colors that you want to take anyway. But also it's the fact that you could say, I only have 1 copy of each card. Like, oh, maybe I should have had multiple of those, but how did I know? And he's also healing, so now it's just a total mockery. I'll still stand by basically how I played, because I think if I didn't do that, I would have lost anyway. Like, it wouldn't have even gotten to this point. So, let's see. You go like this. Go like that. Or wait, why am I even worried about that? I should do this, this, this. Oh, wow. Wow, that's only for 4, though. What a buff. Holy shit, that's actually pretty good. And we still have a chance to win the other 2. And, of course, that's also not mechanic I don't use the sideboarding, but... I don't know what to tell you about that. Like, that should be encouraging that, oh, maybe next time it'll go better, but I'll hold my removal back. I just thought there was this possibility, like, wow, he might actually run out of minions to play for a few turns, and then I would win because of that, which you would think reasonably could happen, but... You know, this dude is like me, because, again, what happens to these people whose decks are, like, half fucking only spells, because... That's just how some people play, even in arena, even in a draft, I mean. But no, that doesn't count as a loss in the play 3 regardless of outcome. Because each one is a best of 3, which I kind of forgot about that. Which in a way is kind of deceptive. Like, oh, play the best of 3 mode if you don't have enough time, but then you end up playing potentially 9 games. So even if you did the other one where it's like, oh, play until you lose 3 or until you win 7... the maximum games you could play there is maybe 9 anyway, because you would go like 7 and 2, right? So it is a little deceptive. I guess just the fact that you're playing against the same person, or it might not always go till the best of 3, but it could take just as long as that anyway. So even though I am a big fan of best of 3, look at this guy sideboarding like a try-hard clown. It's like how in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, or not Master Duel, Duel Links, I wouldn't use like the character skills or whatever. Bro, hurry up, there should be a limit. Like, how long do you get to do this? it assumes, I guess, that I'm doing the same thing too, but I have too much honor to do that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but whatever. Like, I just don't want to. Or again, I pretty much, within my criteria, I'm doing just fine. Now here I have a little bit less land, but I'll be fine with it. Like, that one I don't even mind, the first game, but it's like I got too much land, but I only have 18, which maybe seems like a lot, but you should have around half of your deck. Like, if you have 40 cards, maybe the least land you would want to have is like 15. But I guess it depends a lot on what you have, like if you have mana generating minions and stuff. So we have more red stuff, so let's go for that. I'm actually pretty satisfied with my hand overall. So if I just had like, if I just have a couple more land that I get, that would be good. Now in before I don't get any more land the whole fucking game. This is good. With a +1/+1 if opponent lost life this turn. But whatever, I'm not going to hold back. Just go for it. Again, we're building up a little board presence, but he's going to have his own removal and shit, I bet. Which green and white is going to typically have less, although white has some nasty AoEs that you can sometimes do. I'm already happy with the board position. You could already lose just because of this. This is how quickly it can get out of hand. You might not be able to recover from this, but who knows. 1/4, so I could still attack in with both. Would be the expectation. Whenever you attack, okay, I don't care about him attacking, I'm the one attacking. So I'm happy with my board, and again, I always look at things in terms of that, but maybe that's the wrong way to play. That's how you play as green more, right? Black and red are not really like that, but at least in this kind of mode, it will come down to that. Whenever you gain or lose life, it gets +1 until end of turn, at least. It's not so bad. Lose 3 life unless they sacrifice or discard a card. The offspring would be good, but I'm not going to wait like a century to do this. Right? You can't always wait for the optimal use of every card. You just have to go for it sometimes and deal with it. I should be able to attack with... Target creature you control gains haste. Oh yeah, and that doesn't even cost anything. So you could kill it, but you'd have to give up both of yours to do it. So that is good in itself. If I get one more land, it'll be the best record I've ever had in a draft, because we'll be certain to win this, but it's not really even that. I don't know that I've won 3 in this mode, but I've won at least 2. And this couldn't block that anyway, so it's not like you have to worry about saving it. This haste thing could be very good, though. Yeah, this is almost what you want. Magic the Gathering is a game of creature effects, because you see, since you can't attack with them ever, and you're just sitting here waiting forever, and you can't attack into their minions, right? Why even fucking bother? Because, you know, it's just never going to do anything. So that one already has haste. So now this one you could trade in if you want. I don't care, I guess. Or let you trade multiple things, but even if you do, you'll trample. And we have the other flying thing, so I would almost hope you give up the flying. See, now how does this exactly work? It should still kill... What the fuck math is that? What the fuck kind of math is that? I would have thought it would at least kill 2 of them, but okay, dude. I never understand how that works. It kills something with 1 health, then it would kill this. But that's still fine. You do have vigilance. Like, I already lost now. The flying's not going to do shit for me. You give it haste, and you can't kill it, but now he'll do some blocking bonkers shenanigans. This thing you also... I don't know. I have nothing to save my shit for. That's what you don't realize. See, why can't you do it again? Block with that, and neither one will die, because the game makes no fucking sense. In fact, you actually could do that, because this wasn't going to die anyway, so... Mill 2 cards that has Death Touch at least. Okay, I'll just do it. I don't care. Oh, but I mill... Oh, fuck. Gains Menace until end of turn. Oh, yeah, this might actually be pretty good. If they both do it. Now, what would that create? Like, we do this, we do this. At least it makes it difficult for you. I don't know. I get so frustrated by these sort of stale board positions where you can't do anything. And it's for different reasons because you get to, will it even kill that? Drag creature. Wait, I get to choose that or what? Oh, I always thought it was telling me what they were doing. Okay, so I guess it's my fault then, and I'm just a moron because I always thought they got to determine it because it's their creatures that they're blocking with, but I get to choose as the attacker the block order. I've never really paid attention to that. Maybe I've been complaining this whole playthrough about, oh, how blocks don't make sense, which they still might be stupid, but at least I get to choose the manner of it. At least we have a number of good menace things. If I just start to attack with everything now, it should be good. In fact, I will just do that. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. I'm going to go and I'm going to give this guy menace, and I'm going to attack with everything. I'll still do it. I'll still do it. Give something haste. This has menace. I'm done with you, bro. Like, if I can't win because of this, I just give up, man. I don't care. Like, it's fucking stupid. Everything is going to pretty much trade in anyway, so... The menace is hard to deal with. The death touch is hard to deal with. The, the flying is hard to deal with. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, you're winning on the board. Wow, you should totally win. That's kind of how card games are meant to fucking work, but... Oh no, in a creeped out, power creep fucking draft in 2024, it's gonna be some crazy shit that he pulls out of his ass. Okay, so that one won't die. This one will at least trade. So I'm pretty happy with that outcome still. And you should take a substantial amount of damage nonetheless. You'll take 5, 6, 7. Or wait, what is happening with this one even? Oh, I gave it up for the haste, which I guess is still a better use. Okay, okay. Oh, fucking stupid, man. And yeah, this is a cute effect, but unless you buff it or something, you're not going to be able to keep doing that. I would rather it just do that as a, tap this to deal 1 damage, like the other stupid one that I'm not getting in time. I'm going to lose now still. Somehow, I'm going to lose. To each creature, which includes mine, which I don't really want to do. Gift a card, be good to get rid of his little dinky tokens, but this is not maybe really the time to do it. So let me do the menace and let me do the flying. But those 1/1s would be pretty good too. In fact, the flying is invincible now, so you at least have to do that. And you might think, oh, that's bad. Why would I trade into that? Like, it had to be done because there's no other way to ever get rid of anything. Like, it's so... That is my most annoying element about this game, besides just blue and white existing, is the fact that you can't attack minions on the board. And I get that it has a certain value to it, but deal 1 damage to any target creature and 2 damage to each creature. I don't want to kill my own stuff, though. I just can't do anything. Once again, like, the burnout factor is incredible here. I guess he could kill me with no repercussions even, because this will have double strike or some shit. First strike or double strike, right? Applies both first strike and regular combat damage. Does it not apply when they fight? That is fucking amazing, man. Or couldn't I do this like... No, it's not like instant. I could do it like once that blocks, then I could use it to kill that and kill this fucking random rabbit. So I have some cards in here that would be of use, just to be clear, but I'm not going to get them when I need them. I'm almost inclined to do this, but something else would have to trade in. It wouldn't even still be enough, though. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, though. Destroy creature, beginning of second main phase. I don't want that. Is this the one that's doing damage, or what am I gifting? I don't know what I'm gifting to him. You'll deal 1 damage extra, so you could do this, and then you could do 2 to everything. Which arguably didn't even help me at all, but... Or, okay, let's forage. I don't know what that means. Forage what? Exile, okay. Doesn't matter, like I wasn't probably gonna get those back anyway. I mean that, like, look, man. It's this long game element to it. It's just not how I perceive what a draft would be like. Right? Like if this was the early, when Magic first came out and you were doing a draft, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because of the nature of the power creep stage, like these games last longer than they have any business doing. You're clearly winning on the board, but you never win. You're clearly winning in life, but you're not going to win because they're just going to last it out. And that guy's deck wasn't even anything that special, but... I don't know. Like the first game I overcommitted removal. The second game I didn't even have removal or really use it. And I'm winning on the board like crazy, but you cannot convert winning on the board in this game the way that I typically like. And the reason why is because... Why? You can't attack their minions, so it doesn't matter that you're winning on the board. It makes no difference. It'll come down to... you know, creature effects, creature buffs, things like that. It'll never come down to actually board presence. Discard, I don't give a shit. What? Oh, well, I guess I didn't see that. Well. Fuck it. What was it again? When it enters, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card, which I ended up doing anyway, so obviously I should just be more... I'm too impatient when I don't know what stuff is. That's the whole point. I don't know what any of these cards are, but I should at least take the time to read it. Oh, he doesn't even have a pet. What a loser. Thoughts Shucker. Put a +1/+1 and draw a card. Activate only if there's 7 or more cards are in your graveyard and only once. Well, that's not so great then. Destroy a creature. Okay, I won't bother with that. And this attack is going to be fruitless because you can always just block. Okay, this is fine. Let's just see what happens. I do have enough to even still play that, so I just have to hope now I don't draw too much land. Whenever a creature you control enters Surveil 1. No, I'm obviously doing something wrong just even in the drafting phase. Like, you should be playing for something more long game because the games always go on forever for some reason. Like, this is like a control fucking draft experience. Even though it really shouldn't be. I don't know. It's just something... Let me do a legacy draft with like only the oldest cards in the game from like the first ever expansion, right? And then again, at least the pace would be different. If you're clearly winning, you'll win. If you're clearly losing, you'll lose. It won't be like this weird, just endless fucking thing. Right? Should just have done that from the start. Okay, he only has 2 cards in his hand, which means the game will go on for approximately 50 more turns, leading to his eventual victory, as you can obviously tell. Like, that's enough. That's enough. I'm Kaiba with the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I just made my fucking shit mid-range, whatever. It's over, dude. But it's not. Which, again, I'm not even winning by a big amount here, so I wouldn't even say that, but... Okay, Menace is fine. What is he gonna have? When it attacks each opponent... Okay, I don't care about all that. X is the number of squirrels, bats, lizard, and rats you control. Yeah, I shouldn't even do that unless he summons something truly threatening. I won't even bother with that. It's fine because you'll still trample right into his stupid face. Come on, bro. Please, bro. Okay. That's at least worth it. So you gotta hold back your removal, but it's not an instant one, so I have to wait. And now he's gonna kill everything before I get to do that. Oh no, I thought he would somehow be able to kill that. But it's still fine. We should be able to kill it. Just don't do too much before my next turn. Okay. Why does that even matter? It can't be blocked. Okay, that's good. Exile it instead. Usually that doesn't really matter too much, but this is beautiful board position. You shouldn't be able to recover from this top deck mode here. I feel like I'm fucking Kripparrian from early Hearthstone or whatever when he would always bitch in drafts, but it's not even that, oh, they're getting lucky with top decks. It's just the pacing of the game sometimes is not what I think it should be. You should still be able to do that. Or no, Menace. What is this guy's other effect? Gains Menace till end of turn. Which you maybe argue we should be able to win because of that alone. You won't be able to block that. And then even if you block this, I trample and destroy that shit. Oh, shit. 3 HP. I bet, dude, I'm being salty. He's still gonna win somehow. He's still gonna always have a fucking answer. This is a constructed deck, by the way. You know, that's what it makes it seem like, right? Like a newer modern power creep draft seems like better than a constructed deck would have been in the early stages of a game or something like that, or even better than my constructed decks, which objectively is true because I tend to make whatever gimmicks and stupid stuff, but that's at least deliberate. Okay, so that was at least decent. I haven't gotten a chance to play that 7/6 thing. Whatever it is, like every card that for every card in your graveyard it costs like one less. I think I was gonna have a chance to play it one game and then I somehow I milled it by accident, or you're not gonna know what you're milling, but one thing I haven't had an issue actually with is lands. In fact, it's almost the opposite, where every hand I'm getting a good lush amount of land, and not only that, I'm also able to basically I'm also basically able to do it in such a way that what do you call it? I almost had too much land in the first game, like where I had like fucking 5 extra, whatever. I had like 6 black, 6 red. Like I'm never gonna ever be able to use all that, especially when you get in a top deck mode. Bro thinks he's me with this card. You know, I should already be losing this in a major way because I'm so behind on the board. The assumption that I'm making is like, okay, in a draft, you're not going to have that big home run play because it's just not the way that it works. Okay, this is arguably a win condition card. If I just do this 20 turns in a row, you see, or, you know, non-creature spell, which again, I'm not going to have that many off anyway, but this has a certain value, especially when you get in those stale type of positions where you're able to why would he even do that? Where you're able to basically, I'm literally playing against a bot. That's the only way I could possibly win, because human beings are bots in a different sense, that they metagame and try hard and net deck fucking everything. You might think, how do you net deck your draft? But I'm sure there's certain, whatever, people are already very well aware of everything. Destroy target creature. So we should do this effect, right? We do it, then we draw 2 cards, and we should be able to do it again. Do I even... I don't need land, do I? Okay, that's beautiful, actually. That's exactly what we need at this stage in the game. Just remember to always do this before you ever do anything. Again, am I actually going to win because of that? Probably not, but it could make the little minute difference that we need. And those are 2 effects that can be very hard to... Oh, here we go. I don't know. The way that it works is if you have buffs that keep happening every turn, it can be impossible to deal with. And if you have, because again, if you don't have removal, you can never target it, and then your minions aren't going to be able to be strong enough in the long term anyway. because it's just going to get buffed out of control. But not only is that true, but you're also in a position where you're basically able to... No, I've already fucked up. I should have done that. I guess unless... Oh, I'm assuming I want to attack with it, but... The point is that... Either you have an effect like flying, and they just don't have flying to be able to deal with it, and they don't have removal, and they can't block. And then they also don't have the ability to... And they also don't have the ability to deal with buffs. Because, again, you're going to keep buffing it to a certain period of time that... Okay, you won't be able to deal with it. Bro. I'm gonna use this on there, so I have to decide one of these that I want to get rid of. Do I have enough for this? Like 6, 7. Own in exile and in your graveyard. I don't understand exactly how this works, but it's not really that good. Well, I guess Menace would have been good. I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's still costing almost its full value, though. How could I have so few cards in the graveyard? Yeah, I'm just dead anyway. Because Menace alone is going to fuck me. If I attack with this, I'm just dead, too. Whatever, at least this will go down to the third game. Like, I'm winning every game. It feels like so... Oh, no, I guess this game I was pretty behind the whole way. Gift of food... I keep not even using that effect, but I don't think it would have been the difference in the game anyway. Okay, fine. We got one final showdown. At least these were reasonable. Again, you feel like their hand running dry is okay. I'm a better sportsman than him, though, even though I'm salty. You know, when I won, I don't think he said good game. There's so many basic mechanics that I choose not to use in games, either because I'm lazy or because I, you know, just it feels like a sense of honor or something. Like drawing in chess is a basic mechanic. I never do that. The majority of my losses come when I could have objectively drawn, because that's how every game works. I don't know if I've seen actually a draw in this game. It would be possible in most card games, I would assume, but, you know, some interaction that, you know, triggers an effect that somehow does damage to you and your opponent at the same time or whatever. It's possible. I've seen it. We definitely want to win this, and then we have one more to play again, regardless whether we win or not. You know, it ends up being a lot longer than you think, though. Oh, you just played 3 games regardless of record. How long could that take? But it ends up, again, potentially being 9 games. Bro is sideboarding. You know, we get to show off Sarkhan and that little dragon, which is maybe a little bit, you know, tired, because I've already used that when I used red in the past a little bit, but I don't know that I really did a blue and white draft to introduce the other one, but I'm more than happy to move on, and this sort of signifies what we're doing here. And again, it gives me cards to play around with too, because we're able to, assuming I'm even going to use any of these, which I very well might not. No, I like the zero-sum perspective that people sometimes look at card games too, which it makes sense. Like, okay, sure, make the best deck and win and get to mythic, legend, rank, whatever. But then once you do that, don't you get bored of it and you want to try different things? But my whole thing too is like, even in a zero-sum sense, you know, you'd end up using the same thing everybody else is using, or you would say that I'm always fine with lands. Like, I'm not going to get land screwed, if anything else. Even if you're able to do that, right? Like, okay, you just net deck and have the best deck from day one. What does it matter? Because I don't know, like, people don't realize, like, it says more about the deck. The deck has more impact than the player, and only at the very, very highest level is that not going to be the case. When it enters the battlefield, if they lost life this turn, they reveal their hand and discard something. Actually, that would be a pretty good order in which to play it then. We could do this, and then do this, and then do it again. There was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. Like, everybody acts like they're proving something, but you could use that same deck they're using, so why does it matter? It's not like you don't know, or that you couldn't find out. As long as you have 7 or more, okay, that doesn't matter. Do this, and then this is a perfect synergistic effect where you do this now, and then you reveal their hand, and you, if they lost life, you choose a non-land card and they discard that card. Okay. Now, I won't know really what's worth it to do or not. Power and toughness equal the number of islands you control. The fact that you have 2 makes it kind of a futile exercise anyway. Right, like, I'm not going to stop him from doing that. So that's actually very good because he's... Oh, but I guess only islands, and the dude's going to be hybrid fucked out, so... Here we go, bro. Here we go. Okay, okay. We're gonna use this one, I guess, on there. You might say, oh, you should have just discarded it, but when he has fucking 2 of them, what am I supposed to do? What is this? Okay, we'll get rid of it right now. The menace, oh, I keep forgetting that. Or is it doing that to help me? Because now it'll untap after, or it already would have untapped. Fuck, I keep forgetting to do that. Oh, it did actually try to help me. Now I should be able to do this again. Oh shit, I'm getting carried by the actual fucking automated game mechanic. Okay, now this bypasses the thing as well. You have a good thing going, but this is going to be impossible to deal with too. Right, just impossible. I probably should have done that. What is it? Like, obviously I can't see it, but what is that animation? Just play the fucking thing and I can't do shit about it. But now the game could go on for so long that it's an island in addition to its other types as long as it has a flood counter on it. The first incident, like, it's a fucking book, dude. I'm reading a fucking book. Look, hurry up. No, I like this background, despite the fact that I'm already sick of seeing blue in this fucking game. Music is nice. This one can also get menace. We get top card until your next turn you can play it. So that 4/4 is going to be the bane of my... Okay, I can't do that effect, dude. I'm not used to this kind of shit. It is a very good effect, but... And it would have... Okay, if I lose this, I totally deserve it. It would have gotten the effect too, because I keep forgetting to do that shit. See, at least that you could criticize, like, oh, haha. Not like your deck construction. Although, at least here, a draft is a little more optimally based, but... Like, you are trying to do that, clearly. Even if I'm setting certain rules. Oh, thank you for undoing my mistake, because even though I've lost, like, maybe 2 or 3 damage on him, which could be the difference in the game, it's the fact that... See, why don't people sometimes attack with that? Like, he could have easily done it already last turn, and I couldn't have done anything. Whenever the game drags out like this, I always know I'm going to lose. But that's more of a constructed mindset still, too, because... It's fine for now, but I'm not going to get... Wait, what? Okay, he's gonna run out. Oh, look at the synergy. Look at it all coming to fruition, but it's still not that big of a deal. But I just can't do anything. It's so that's an expression that I've said like a million times. Like, I just can't do anything half the time. Okay, so now you'll do this first before you do anything else. Then you can play this and it'll get the buff. Then you can also give it menace later. Wait. Oh, never mind. Non-creature spell, but the effect is still there. You may play it until the end of next turn, which I guess I get rid of the stupid ass 5/5. Or he's gonna make me discard. Oh no, that's good because it doesn't count as actually technically being in your hand. Oh shit, that's actually clutch. Now I'm still gonna lose, but at least my board is moderate. 3-3, which I can't necessarily block. So we're gonna tank it for now because I don't have much of a choice. But now that's his ace play. So now if we get rid of that, he'll clearly have no reserves for it. I'm very low. I'm not too happy about it. Let me play this first before I do anything else. Always remember that. And then you got to do this one. Then we can do it again. This is going to be my main source of damage because, of course, playing on the board in this game is not fucking possible. Would this actually be worth it? Because I think I have decent board control, but I'm also worried about it. You don't need land. You do want that. Very dangerous decision that I'm making. I don't like it. If he summons one more minion, it'll be the end of the fucking game. Level 2, what is this shit, man? At the beginning of your opponent's upkeep, if the opponent has one or... Oh, no. So now it discourages me from playing too many things. Okay, I can block whatever he does. I got no problem with this shitty board that he has. Yeah, I like that notion too. This is one good thing about drafts. Like if they... Oh, man. If they feel like... you know, you summon a big card, and then if they destroy it, then they don't have an answer. They don't have another one. They, you know, because again, that's the best that they're gonna have. So, oh, I summoned this as my ace play, and then if I don't do it, then now I don't have enough to even play that period. I could play this and give it the rush. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna lose the game, and the reason why I'm gonna lose the game is because you're gonna give it the ability to not be blocked. Whenever you attack, I just lose. Or maybe you can't do it again. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, let's just do both of these. But then even this is true too. Level 2. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has one or few cards in their hand, they lose 2 life. So I'm not actually sure, but I'll just wait. I just can't do anything, man. I hate this. You could give them menace, but it's not gonna be enough. Alright, I keep forgetting to fucking play that guy too. These fucking effects are carrying him, man. Or maybe that's dangerous too, because that could be the difference in me being able to block. But he can make... I don't know, like, I guess you can't go back. I forget how these things work sometimes. You can't go back, like, to level 2 or something with it. Or I guess you can. I have to win this turn, that's it. He can flip it back now so you can block with it again. Like, I just can't do anything. So fucking annoying, man. What could I possibly get here that's actually going to win me the game? You could give this, like, haste from that. But I don't know. It might have made a little difference if I had done that a little more. Give it menace. That thing already has menace. I just have to go all in. I mean, I'm dead no matter what. Okay, I lose. Or at least if you have to give everything up. Would he still have enough in reserve to... Yep. For now, that'll kill me anyway. Alright. That was at least a good, hard-fought, intense thing. It's amazing how specifically short I come up. It must just be the difference of, oh, I'm not sideboarding, or I'm doing a little something wrong in the draft, because you're so close in every single fucking game to winning. In fact, most of them I'm winning very decisively, but I expect the game to actually end in a reasonable amount of time, which, again, it's a byproduct of the inability to block, or the inability to attack stuff. 1 game remaining, by which I mean 3 games remaining potentially. We've already at best won only 1 game if we win this one. I don't get this sort of long game shit though. Like, so what should I have done? I should have taken more high cost cards because you know the game is going to get to that point. A Balrog, I like that, like a Balrog from Lord of the Rings. That's still fine. Again, I can't complain about land. Every single game has been good to me in terms of land. You know, you could argue that's too high of a curve, but I'm happy with it if I just get the board out here. I haven't been cucked on land in terms of the number or even in terms of the color. I've gotten everything I could have wanted. Let me just win one so I'm not completely embarrassed. If you actually look at these games, I'm not even saying I'm not making misplays, but it's kind of like... It seems so clear. If they lost life this turn, there's nothing I can do to really make them lose life. So just don't summon something else and let me just use Menace the whole game. But when it attacks each opponent loses X life, you gain X life for X is the number of squirrels, bats. Okay. This is good. When it enters, exile the top card of your library. Which again, this almost just works as a de facto card draw. Or couldn't I have used that then? Or no, it actually costs something. Some of these effects don't cost anything, so I kind of forget to do them. Like the one, notoriously that 1 damage one. But no, I don't mind some of these cards in this expansion. There's a lot of menace stuff, a lot of... Assuming everything is even from that. I don't want to lose anything. Beginning of combat, you may forage. Whenever you forage, put a +1/+1. Ah, I fucked up. I should... Man. That's the biggest cause of fuck-ups in games is when you... obviously do everything too fast. So they discard a card nonetheless. Which again, in a case if they only have 1 card in their hand, they're screwed. So this would be if you are able to... I don't know if I should do that though. This is the problem. This is the scenario that you end up in. Like it's fucking... This is almost like chess where you kind of sit on threats and attacks. 2 pawns could trade at any time, but you wait for the opportune moment 50 turns later. So I need a removal pretty badly. When you expend, it became... Yeah, it's +1/+2. +2/+1. I don't really have much minion capacity for removal because I have, you know, like a death touch, I guess would be the only best way of doing it. Well, otherwise, I'm just relying on the straight up removal spells, which I do have at least a couple. So everything trades in reasonably favorably here, but I don't know what to do about this one. So this seems like a reasonably even position, which means I'm guaranteed to lose because there's always some little nuance that I'm fucked. Aw, oh, come on. Until end of turn, which means it must come back to life then after that. Fucker, that's a card I declined to actually take. Or I think I took it, but then I didn't put it in here. The best I have here is this Menace, which isn't going to do that much for me. I have some decent sized minions in here. I do have some removal in here, but I'm just not going to get it, I guess. As we are in full top deck mode. I asked for top deck and I got it. I mean, look, dude, I've been in so many good... Oh, look at that, but I do have enough to just play it outright. Menace and Death Touch. Now, this is beautiful because what it does is it gives me a presence on the board that he's going to clearly counter or something. Haha. That I'm able to... Yeah, see, now I get lucky with the top deck, but I mean, I do have shit like that in there. The 5/5 with trample. I have something else of decent quality. But no, maybe with the next draft that I do, which probably won't be for a while. It might not be till next expansion. Okay. It'll be one lucky draw deserves another, right? One top deck deserves another. I should draft a little higher, I guess, because again, having these good boards doesn't mean jack shit. There's just nothing you can ever do in the game. It'd probably be worth it to do this because I just can't do anything otherwise. I just don't even know what happened. He still got the thing. There's too many like buffs and other effects that end up happening. We can do the offspring, I guess. Pay 3 life, and then you potentially have pay 3 life too, which is not a big deal at all. It's never going to come down to that because his board presence is so dominating. Right, you have. I guess it's not that big of a deal. The 1/3s aren't that big of a deal. You can trade this in. This thing is going to kill me just because of the stupid ass. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard to sacrifice food. Wait, draw 2 cards. I have no choice but to... Oh my god, the land. Give me something big I can actually play, or give me removal. You may mill 2 cards. If you gain or lost life, surveil. I mean, I can obviously just play everything. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so we have no choice but to just wait this out, and I'm very low on health. I'm gonna end up fucking decking out. These games go so long. Imagine decking out in a draft game. Like, what the fuck is going on? They go on for so long. Like, why doesn't it ever get to the point where, like, oh, they just don't have an answer for something? Is that not possible to occur? Imagine not having an answer when you don't even get to choose what's in your fucking deck. Inherently, like, you know, you might just get a rough break, a rough game. Why could that not happen? Position is maybe still tenable. It felt like I already should have lost, but okay, man, that's good. I'm gonna lose because of that now, because I'm not gonna have an answer for flying, or I'm gonna have to use this on. I'm gonna have to use this on the flying one because I guess I have Death Touch for this, the 4/5, so I have to use it on this because I'm not gonna be able to deal with it otherwise. Gift of food. Yeah, what does it really matter? Just let me do this 16 more times. You gain 3 life. That doesn't even really bother me too much. But can I do something with the menace? And the answer is I actually can't. So the only thing that's saving me here is the Death Touch. Otherwise, that 4/5 could just run rampant. And it's almost to the point where he could have already attacked me with it a number of times. So we're in full-on top deck mode. This thing can sometimes be good. He's already used a ton of removal on my shit. So you would think he'd be running low in his whole deck, but I guess not. Okay, forage. I mean, how many times can you really do this? But again, the only thing that'll save me is Death Touch. I can't stop that. Holy shit. I mean, again, I'm not going to say that the amount of land I have is bad, but, you know, it's just 18 out of 40 seems okay. Again, at least you're going to have around 15. Get a thing from your graveyard to your hand. I'm not going to attack. This is the, like, auto fucking feeling in this game. Like, attack, like, you've never heard of that mechanic. You never attack. You're just auto pass attacking every single fucking turn because you'll never be able to do it. And it's even true for him. Like, just, it's so rare that you actually get to do that. So I need something. No, I guess I can still trade in. You could do this, but would it be worth it? And the answer is it's not even an instant spell, so I can't do it in like a... I can't do it at all because I would lose on the basis of, you know, I need the Death Touch to trade in. I can trade in a few other things, but I'm still mathematically just dead. Right, you trade this for this. You trade, you block the 4/3. You block the 2/2, so I'll take like at least 4 or 5 no matter what. Why are you only attacking with that? Attack with everything, I'm pretty much dead. In fact, I am dead because of... Wait, what? Well, the flying I can't block, period. So that alone I would lose for. Yeah, why not just attack with everything anyway? Because, like, you win because of the flying alone. Like, what is even happening? Alright, we still have another chance. I mean, obviously I'm doing something wrong just in the draft phase. Or, again, my refusal to sideboard, but that's not going to change. That's the answer, I guess. Draft higher. You can have the same number of lands, but draft higher cost stuff. That's actually going to be a big deal. And the reason why, although I might not have gotten offered that much more, is you can guarantee one thing in drafts, that the game is going to go on for pretty much the entirety of your whole fucking life, because it just never... That's the first time where I haven't had actually a ton of land, but I'll live with it. I haven't really had a good chance to use that, even though it's like, oh, it's my only AoE, but it's fine. Right, like it ends up destroying your shit too much. It should be if you pay, if it's promised, it should be that you get to only do it to your opponent's stuff, but that might be too strong then. Okay, so we might get cucked on land now. It would be the, wouldn't be a draft if not at least one game that happens. See, that seems like a good effect, but you're not going to get to attack very often because he's always going to have board control, just because even if I build my decks for that exact purpose, it still doesn't happen somehow. I'd be willing to do that, but I won't even bother. Beginning of your end step, if you gain or lost life, I guess you could do this effect still. Surveil for 1. I guess I kind of do need the land now. Not that I have anything too high cost yet. Come on, we got to win at least one best of 3, so let's do an epic 2-0 comeback on this guy. Every game is so close and like so winnable, or even that I'm winning. Yeah, it's probably worth it. I mean, what am I waiting for? Right, since removal is just fucking impossible to come by anyway. You may as well just use it on there too, and that's what I was almost conceding to the other time. Like, I'm fine with that, and it'll let me get something back too. And if you want to take face damage, go ahead and do it. You have the ability to bring something back, even if it's expensive. So we have pretty much enough land now to play anything in my whole fucking deck. Right, the 5/5 or 5/3/3 with flying. This guy maybe didn't have a ton of flying, I was about to say, but I mean... We'll draw 2 cards, sure, and I don't really need more land, I don't think. Give me something actually high cost to play, please. Opponent... Target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. Now, would there be something that's really... Menace is cute, which means you'd have to block with both, which I don't know if that's even really worth it. But I'm more than happy to just trade. So how does that work now? It'll just trade into one of them, won't it? When it enters... I'd rather get rid of the flying, honestly. If I'd done it the other way, it wouldn't have made any difference, really. That's +1 and haste. Oh, maybe if I had done that, it would have... But then I didn't have enough land anyway. But it's this endless supply of shit that he's gonna have. But yeah, the AoE I haven't been able to do shit with. Opponent can't block with target creature. You can't do anything with that, really. I have the land, as we've had pretty much in every... Okay, let's wait. In every scenario, but we just aren't going to pay the black. Perfectly fine. That's how the game works. Anytime you play it, immediate fucking removal. Counter it. Don't even let them play it on the board. Like, that's... Isn't that fun and interactive? Deals 1 damage, fine. Just give me 13 turns to do this shit, and I'd be happy with that. Wait, what? Oh, it's obviously you can't do it yet. So I'm probably gonna lose this one too. I'm not getting my 5/5. I have very few high cost cards. I guess that is my issue. I just would expect a lot of the time you're not gonna be able to get to the point of being able to play them. You're not gonna get enough land. You're not gonna last long enough. But every game so far, this has happened. Go ahead and get rid of that. Or wait, what did I do? Gift of food. I'm fine with losing the life. I mean, I guess that's one thing that's not an issue. But But you know, you would think, oh, these are reasonable plays, or maybe those things aren't even strong enough. But you'll realize that he has an endless supply of things, and I just can't do anything about it. So now, can I win because of the flying effect? Maybe because between this and the flying, that might be that's the key word of this game, right? Unmitigatable damage. You might be surprised that I'm actually willing to do this. If you want to trade in, go ahead and do it. You got to get that off, whether it be because of flying, whether it be because of some other aspect. So I'm more than happy to do that. And the reason why is because of the simple fact that I get to get something back, even if it's the thing I already have. Right, like if this thing dies, which it invariably will right now. Yeah, here we go, bro. Here we go. Or no, now it's getting, yeah, exile. Which that'll just be a mechanic anyway. Like, oh, bring something back that was exiled. It's not like it'll be impossible to do. So we could bring that back with Menace. Or maybe I'll bring back the other thing with flying. Even as stupid as that seems, it might be the best that I really have here. Do this, and then I can attack with the other thing. So you're getting in these little dinky amounts of damage that are not very good. Hoping that he gets to some sort of burnout phase. That you could have easily blocked. Oh shit, now we bring out the big guns, and he even knows it, but he has removal ready. Infinite removal, infinite minions. Like, there's never a scenario, you understand, in a game, in a card game, where you actually run out of stuff. That just doesn't happen. Even when you're in top deck mode, you just know you're gonna have infinite shit to bring out. Even in a draft, even in anything, infinite shit. It just never stops. Like, fuck it, dude. Again, I don't care too much about the life, but this is fine with me. And then we also get to basically do this one again. We also get to do the flying one again. And then we also get to try to take advantage of the 6/6, but the 6/6 is there only to defend because you're never going to be able to attack with anything ever, I bet. That's just pretty much how the game works. He'll use another piece of removal on it. Fuck it. Bro. I might win because of these variable effects still. That might actually happen. But it's very unlikely. Creature can't block. Okay, I'm even misplaying it as BM, I guess, but we basically would have won. That's fine. So we have a final best of 3. So we at least won one game in the other one. Like, what if I win one game in each of the best of 3? Does that should count as at least one win of a set? Alright, so we got to see at least a big minion there for like 0.5 milliseconds, and because isn't that the whole satisfaction? And that's what you would always get to do in the early stage of a card game, right? Like, oh, you get a really cool minion out there, you get your Blue Eyes White Dragon or some shit, and it's actually satisfying. But instead, it's like, oh, you never get to see anything last. Right, because you're always going to have removal. That's like in a show, too, like in an actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Imagine, oh, I summoned my Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, or I summoned this God card, and oh, I just used a little hammer shot. I just used a little removal, like it's no big deal. It would be so anticlimactic. Like, oh, look at me, I sacrificed 3 minions to summon this epic fucking monster. Oh, just use like a little cheap spell card that doesn't cost you anything, and it's just dead. Like, really, dude? Beginning of second main phase, opponent lost life. Exile top 2 cards of my library. We can do this, and the reason why we can do it is because we can at least theoretically attack in at this stage. Add 1 mana of any color. Which is an effect that's often associated with green, but it doesn't mean it has to be. Curious Forager. I'll save the Death Touch thing for now. Can't do that. Sometimes, like with these, maybe I should just attack in, but is the haste thing really going to matter? Because you feel like, I guess the flying is going to be what wins me the game. That's his one weakness is green, as I would know firsthand. But he's going to have a oh, you're going to wish you saved that, even though you have a million removal cards anyway. So that touch we're gonna save because, you know, we'll need it for some big shit later. You can do this and then you can give it haste and you can just try to get the one attack in its life that you'll ever get because it's gone. It's literally gone. I may as well just... here, I'll do it for you, dude. It's gone. Says the guy who's playing as black that is known to have a certain amount of removal too. Yeah, bro. What do you think this is, bro? Just one game in my life. I wish that doesn't happen. That's why I was just playing as Hexproof. But again, whether it's good or not is not even the issue. Like, I just want to see something play out. Like, you know, let me actually just have some option to play something. So this is a good effect. Give it haste, which doesn't really matter. That you can call second main phase since you played this. So what that means is I can play this effect and that should trigger this effect, but then it doesn't even matter because it's... I don't really get it. You're exiling your own shit, so it's basically like almost tantamount to a card draw. Okay, he's going all in and I don't have an answer for it. That AoE might be decent here, but a lot of stuff would still survive. 3-2, I'll trade in. I don't care. Although that effect could have still been more valuable than what I have here. Mill 2 cards, sure. Get my shitty deck over with. Defeat the cycle. I guess you'd get rid of the... No, maybe I should save it because something big is sure to come. You may play that card. Alright, so play it. Discard a card. That's got a sting at least when you're in top deck mode. But let's see what we got. So the board is relatively even. These 1-3s don't bother me too much. It's really the 2-2 and the 3-3 I'm ready to trade for. What I can't do... Why would you even do that one, though? That's not very important right now. I may have to do something about the flying, but maybe... Oh, no, I don't, actually. I maybe shouldn't have gotten rid of the guy who gives rush because of the simple fact that you have... I mean, the value of this is not to be understated. Don't get me wrong. It is a very... Because, again, you expect the game to last literally a million turns, so that's going to come into play before you effectively fucking deck out. We're going to see that happen, too. It might have already happened, actually, in one of these games. A draft game will go on so long that you actually deck the fuck out. You may as well block. You may as well... You know, like, what am I saving it for? I mean... This you can always trade in pretty well. Of course, you need a 5-mana card to deal with the 3-mana card here, like this shit. You gotta assume you're gonna see your entire opponent's deck, right? Your entire thing is just gone. That is instant. So shouldn't I be able to like cuck him? Like if he tries to block with both, I can cuck. Can I cuck? Oh yes, do the cuck. Do the cuck. Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me and carrying me with that dumb shit effect, too. Oh, shit. We do the cuck of a lifetime, bro. Okay, that was actually great. You give up both for... Or, I mean, you don't give up both, but... yes, of course. Yes, of course. We got the death touch for it. Now you're going to top deck a removal to get rid of the death touch. Why don't I just play for you? You go ahead and you do the offspring thing, auto pay. You do it again. You get the effect of this. My board is looking pretty good, eh? Like every other fucking game of my whole life. Just let me have this one game, dude. I've already had a shitty fucking draft. Just leave me alone. You do this. You do this. You can do this as the final finisher. You have to remember. Or next turn, I should just attack with everything, and it's not going to even work. I play around your ability to make me discard stuff by just having nothing in my hand, by even being a fucking degenerate top deck clown. Or I guess I'm overestimating it. Do I have enough to kill you now? Destroy this shit just for the fuck of it. Or wait, I shouldn't even bother giving the 2 life, but... It should be over, but I'm somehow not... Yeah, okay. We do actually win one best of 3. Look, bro, it is hard. Every one of those games is fucking intense. Like, even when I'm losing, people are fucking trying. Maybe that in itself is an accomplishment, which is not, but at least winning 2 is decent. Look, man, I did my best. And now we're gonna, at least next time, we'll build an actual red and black deck together, I guess. We get a mythic. Oh, shit. I thought I just used one, too. I'm surprised that I got one already. So that's a perfect thing to sort of build into, but we don't have that many, we don't have actually that many cards to build with, but then again, we have a lot of red and black cards that we have over time. And how do I know that? Because I've never disenchanted one, so everything we've ever gotten in the course of the game, we have. Yeah, we'll build a red and black deck next time, and we'll just play around with that, with whatever mechanics I feel like, whether it be flying, whether it be something else. Like, I don't even know what I like besides dragons and flying. And black is, maybe we can make a removal heavy deck, since I never do that, even though it's not really my style. You should give it a chance. Okay, see you tomorrow.